going on, everybody? Andrew back here with another video, and today is the big day. We're going to be talking about Odell Beckham Jr. being released from the Cleveland Browns. Now, as all of you know, I'm a Browns fan, and this news happened not too long ago, a few hours ago, but it's insane with all that just happened. So I'm going to break it down for you guys and essentially give you a Browns perspective of what happened and what I personally think. So let's jump right into it, shall we? What happened was, after the game on Sunday, it seemed like during the game you could tell that there was something wrong with Odell. Like, his body language seemed off, like he just didn't want to be there. As Johnson scored a touchdown, Dearness Johnson, a lot of the guys celebrated, but Odell just kind of watched in the background and just walked off the field. And then when Baker celebrated his big first down before the Jarvis Landry fumble, Odell just, walked past Baker and didn't really celebrate. So it seemed like something was off about Odell. And then during the course of the next couple of days, just a lot of stuff just popped off. Like OBJ's dad just sending videos of the OBJ wide open videos and stuff like that. And it really hit a huge spark within the organization. And per Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski, this wasn't what sparked the OBJ controversy and OBJ leaving. They said that there was things in the past, and when he first came to the team in 2019, that started a lot of stuff. A lot of players said he's a great teammate, great locker room guy, but apparently, there's reports back in 2019, after a few games, Odell just didn't want to be there. Same thing in 2020, just Odell just doesn't want to be here and stuff like that. And there's a lot of kind of behind the scenes stuff with Odell, and it wasn't really brought out. I mean, it was brought out here, especially by local media, and it was just kind of brushed off as that's not true and stuff like that. So, but now with OBJ's dad, he's posting videos of Odell's wide open in these videos and commenting on people's posts and stuff like that, saying Baker's trash, he needs a better quarterback and stuff like that. And Odell sat quiet through this whole thing, and it's beyond crazy. And there were rumors that Odell said he wanted to practice and he wanted to play this Sunday. If you're Odell and you say that behind the scenes, I don't know if it was true or not. There's some reports on that. If that was true, then you should come out and say that to your team and the media and everybody, saying hey, listen, I want to play, I want to practice, I want to be here. If I do get released, I want it to be at the end of the season when everything's all said and done, then I could walk. But if I want to be here, I want to play, I want to do whatever I can to help the team win. But instead, he just sat quiet, let his dad do all the talking and his camp and stuff like that, and didn't really help his cause too much. So there's a lot of cause for concern there. And here we are, after 2 days of not practicing, he is finally released from the Browns. He will enter the waivers, and he cannot be claimed until 4 p.m. on Monday. Per Adam Schefter, there are some better fits for Odell Beckham Jr. He's saying the better fits could be the Saints, the Packers, the Seahawks, the 49ers. For me personally, I think the best fit for Odell would probably be the Patriots. Reason being, he'll have a good coach there in Bill Belichick, a solid scheme for him, and he gets to work with a young quarterback in Mac Jones, who's been really good this season. And the Patriots really don't have a true number one wide receiver. They have Nelson Aguilar, Jacoby Myers. Those guys aren't really true number ones. So they could really use a true number one receiver, and Odell would get a lot of targets there, and that's what he complained about in Cleveland. He wasn't getting enough targets. And the report of the one that I like the most, Aditi Kinkhabwala, who's normally a Steelers beat reporter, but she does a lot of stuff with the Browns as well, it seems like, too. She was in Berea and she was talking to people, and from the mix of what I got out of it is that Odell was kind of freelancing his routes. And in the Browns system, it's a timed system where the ball is placed at a certain spot, and a certain player who the ball is being thrown to has to be at that spot when the ball is there. And there were times where the ball was supposed to go to Odell, but Baker would look his way and the ball, he wasn't in his spot, or he wasn't going to his spot, and he had to look away and go to his other reads because he was running some other route. And Baker's I was supposed to put the ball at the middle hashes of the 40-yard line, and you're doing double moves and stuff like that and not where you're supposed to be. And he has to quickly go to his other reads because he doesn't want to get sacked. and he has to escape the pocket and stuff like that. So that's what a lot of people got out of it. That's what I got out of it, was that it wasn't all the time. There was a lot of time. It was a good amount of times that OBJ would freelance his routes, and that's why he wouldn't get the ball. And I think a lot of people have said, who are Giants fans, said that he did that in New York as well with Eli. So it seems like it's a big issue for him that he runs his own routes and stuff like that. And that's a good reason why he maybe doesn't get the ball. You know, there's a lot of things of, is this Baker's fault? Is this Odell's fault? Or is this a Kevin Stefanski, Brown's fault? And I'm going with the Kevin Stefanski, because everyone says Baker's mediocre, he's trash. He's not trash. The stats show he's not trash. The stats show he's a solid quarterback, and he's a true NFL starting quarterback. Well, it's not Odell's fault, because he's a good receiver. Don't get me wrong, he's a great receiver. But issues with, running own routes and stuff like that. Sometimes his attitude can get in the way of everything. But for me, it's Kevin Stefanski and his system. And for people who don't agree with that, well, look back when Kevin Stefanski was with Minnesota. Or before Kevin Stefanski became the OC, offensive coordinator of Minnesota, Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen were averaging almost 10 receptions, or at least 10 targets per game. With Kevin Stefanski as offensive coordinator, they only seen 5, maybe 6 receptions per game. Now, Kevin Stefanski goes to Cleveland. Odell was getting about 8 receptions, close to 10 receptions a game, and he was only getting about 3 to 4 under Kevin Stefanski. And Kevin Stefanski, obviously, both times, he has a very good run game here in Cleveland and back in Minnesota with Dalvin Cook. There's a good run game here with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt and Dearness Johnson. And, Kevin Stefanski's system involves a lot of tight ends. So a lot of tight ends get a lot of work as well. So it doesn't really favor star receivers like Stephon Diggs, Adam Thielen, or OBJ. So for me, I don't think it was issues with, Odell and Baker, or even like Odell and Stefanski and the coaching staff. I just feel like it was just a terrible fit. That's my thing. I think it was just a bad fit, and he just didn't fit with the system here in Cleveland. There's a lot of 3 tight end sets, a lot of 2 tight end sets, a lot of, 2 running back, 2 tight end, and there's a lot of run game and short, medium throws, and it wasn't a fit for Odell. So I do wish Odell the best. Be sure you guys check out our sponsor, Caveman Coffee Co. Use promo code SLUMP. Don't be a chump, use promo code SLUMP. And with that being said, guys, that's my take on the Odell situation. Go Browns, and I'll see you next time.